Hi, sister. Can you talk right now? There's something very important I want to tell you.
Oh, if it isn't Marissa. I'm currently doing work while on a bullet train. Could you wait until later when I'm not busy?
No, I'm afraid I can't wait. What's with that reaction anyways? You sound almost as if you didn't want to see me. Anyways, this is something very important that has something to do with the future of the company, so it can't wait.
What? The future of the company? But Marissa, have you forgotten that you have nothing to do with the company's business? Could you please not talk about the company's future, at least until after you find a job and stop doing nothing at home all day?
Huh? It's fine if I don't have a job because I'm training to become a housewife. Unlike you, whose only merit is that you're willing to work all day, every day, I have a skill called femininity. Besides, I'm about to get married soon, and I won't have to work after that, right? I mean, seriously, Ida, why do you work so much all the time? Just get married and become a housewife or something.
Not everyone shares the same values as you, Marissa. Some people find meaning in their jobs beyond just having to work to earn money. Wait, hold on. You had a boyfriend? And you're already going to get married to him? How come you never came to our parents' house to ask for their permission?
You'll find out why soon enough. And of course I have a boyfriend, because unlike you, I'm not an old hag who became so busy with work that she forgot how to be a woman.
Well, I'll agree that I am pretty busy with work, but what do you mean I forgot how to be a woman? And I have a fiancé too, you know. If I start acting like a woman by your standards, then I'll soon be drowning in ribbons and lace and frills.
I mean, I was able to get married, but on the other side of the coin, you're not going to be able to get married anymore. Besides, are you sure that you have a fiancé?
Huh? What are you talking about?
What I'm trying to say is, me and Alberto are officially engaged now. That's what I wanted to tell you in the first place.
What? By Alberto, do you mean my fiancé, Alberto?
Can you think of any other Alberto? I mean, of course I mean your fiancé, Alberto.
Marissa, what in the world are you talking about? Are you trying to say that you stole my fiancé?
Yep, I'm being 100% serious right now. You see, the two of us are currently in a hotel together.
What? Now?
Yep, we've been going out for 3 months now. I'm impressed that you didn't notice a thing. It must be because all you think of all the time is that job of yours. Well, that's all I had to tell you. Make sure to cancel the wedding ceremony you had planned for next month, all right? Me and Alberto are going to plan our own wedding of our dreams from scratch.
Is that so? I'm going to ask Alberto himself about this later, but if this is true, you better get ready for what's about to come, because I promise you two aren't going to get off easy.
Yeah. What are you going to do, tell Mom and Dad? You say that like you're actually a person of importance. But in reality, you're just a slave to the company, right? Anyways, I already am ready, if that's what you're worried about. Ready to find happiness with Alberto, that is. You're just a nuisance, Ida, so just give up and step out of our way, all right? Hi, Ida. Did you already ask Alberto about the two of us or something already? You see, he came crying to me, saying how you were so scary when you got mad at him. He said you looked like the devil himself. I made sure myself that he felt better after that, though. In fact, he's currently fast asleep next to me, looking like he doesn't have a care in the world.
Is that so? He's the one who did something to make me look like a devil, so it's his own fault. Besides, probably the only reason he was scared of me is because he felt ashamed about what he had done. I mean, it was only a month until we were supposed to have our wedding ceremony, after all.
Huh? What do you mean he was ashamed? I mean, it's only natural for two people who are in love to go to a hotel together where they won't be disturbed. And I already told you about our relationship, right? What's there to be ashamed of? This is all your fault, and you're just being delusional.
I'm trying to tell you that the two of you are being a bit too shameless about this. Never mind, you'll find out soon enough. I'm talking about canceling the marriage with Alberto, so do whatever you want with him because I don't care anymore.
What? Really? Yes! Now Alberto is all mine. Thanks for stepping out of the way, sister. Finally, you understand that I'm just a better woman than you. Just go back to your work or something so you can forget all about this.
I will, but I'm going to make you two pay me an alimony, all right?
What?
Yes, not just Alberto, but you too.
What? You're going to make me pay one too? What for?
For stealing my fiancé? He wasn't just my boyfriend, Marissa. We were engaged. So that means I have the legal right to ask you two to pay me an alimony. What, did you think that I wouldn't be able to ask you for an alimony because the fiancé you stole was your sister's or something? Too bad, but that's not the case.
You've got to be kidding me, right? But isn't making your own family pay you an alimony a bit too evil?
No, I'm not kidding. And what I'm doing to you is a lot less evil than what you did to me. Seriously, do you not even feel slightly guilty for stealing my fiancé? Oh, and I'll tell you this in advance. It's no use trying to rely on Mom and Dad for help. They're extremely mad about what you did right now. They even said that they regret spoiling you until now, and that they're going to make you leave their house.
What? Why? But I thought that Mom and Dad were my allies. I'm so much cuter than you. Why would they side with you?
There's no way they would side with you when you just stole my fiancé. Oh, and by the way, I'm not going to go easy on you just because you don't have any money and don't even have a job. There's nothing stopping you from getting a job if you want to, so you better find one soon. Otherwise, you're going to have to take out a loan to pay my alimony. By the way, nothing about you is cute, Marissa. Only idiotic guys think that.
What did you just say to me? You're just jealous that I was always more popular with guys than you were, aren't you? Also, there's no reason for me to work. I'm not going to become a slave to a company like you.
Yes, there is, actually. I'm going to make you pay at least the average amount. I don't know for sure, but that's at least 20,000 euros.
You're so scary, Ida. Wow, so this is how ugly women behave when they're mad? Looks like you're the one who's an idiot. I don't need to find a job to pay your alimony after all. Too bad for you, I guess.
Yes, I heard that you made Alberto pay for both your alimonies. And I even heard that you moved into Alberto's apartment after Mom and Dad kicked you out.
Yep, the two of us are currently living together.
Jesus, this is proof that you completely don't understand the position you're currently in. I wouldn't be so happy about this situation if I were you.
Are you just being jealous now because he threw you away to be with me instead? Come on, Ida, it's unbefitting of someone so serious as you. Still, it's pretty funny, though I don't mind.
Seriously? Whatever. I don't care anymore what happens to you. To be honest, I'm impressed at how dumb you are and how narrow your view of the world is.
Huh? What in the world even is that? What does my view of the world have anything to do with this?
I mean, you haven't even noticed yet that you're slowly but surely being pushed towards the edge of a cliff?
What? But you're the one who's being pushed towards the edge of a cliff, aren't you? I mean, you're already 30, but you just got your fiancé stolen from you a month before you were supposed to get married? Really, I pity you so much. Good luck on getting married before you're 40, because I heard that you can't have children after that. I don't think that's going to be easy, though, now that you're in your 30s and have already been divorced once. Maybe if you were pretty like me, you would have had a chance.
Yeah, say whatever you want. You're just making a fool of yourself. I decided that I'm not going to tell you what's about to happen.
What are you even talking about? You're the one who looks like a fool, Ida.
I can kind of guess by your personality just what kind of misunderstanding you're currently making, but You'll find out on your own if you just talk to Alberto himself. Please, Marissa, could you at least try to not be so dumb and just talk to Alberto? It's honestly making my head hurt talking to you like this.
You're just crying sour grapes. Besides, if Dad's going to marry Alberto, the next CEO of the company, to one of his daughters, then it should be me and not you, right? I mean, I am younger and more attractive than you.
I see. So that's what you were after. I knew it. You did always talk about how you were going to just marry someone rich when I told you to get a job.
Yes, I want to become a wife of a CEO. You see, whenever I look at you and how you always just work all the time, I think to myself, wow, I hope I never have to become a slave of a company like that. Getting a job is defeat for a woman. So don't you think that becoming a wife of a CEO is the smartest path to take?
Just talk to Alberto for me, will you? You'll understand well then just how idiotic these thoughts of yours are right now.
Yeah, you're just saying that because you're jealous Alberto chose me over you. I don't blame him, though. I'm better than you in every way imaginable, after all. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. You see, the two of us are going to be hosting our wedding ceremony in half a year. I'm going to make you come no matter what. You made me pay an alimony of 20,000 euros, right? Too bad, because now I'm going to make you pay 40,000 euros as a wedding gift.
Jesus, talking to you really is pointless, it looks like. I'm not going to your wedding, and I'm definitely not going to give you any money.
Hi, sister. Do you know what day it is today? Today is me and Alberto's wedding. Today is the day that will symbolize the start of my new life of only happiness with him. At the end of the day, you replied saying that you wouldn't come to all of my invitations, but Mom and Dad are going to come, so it doesn't matter, I guess. Yep, this proves it. They'd rather have a cute daughter like me than a woman like you who's just a slave to her company.
You shouldn't get your hopes up regarding Dad. The only reason he came was to make sure that you wouldn't cause any more trouble than you already have. He's embarrassed just being there, you know. Mom, too. The only reason she came was because she wanted to get a last look at my failure of a daughter before I cut ties with her, she said.
Huh? You're seriously still crying sour grapes? I mean, I'm about to become the CEO's wife. So I think it would be in your best interest not to defy me too much, you know.
It must mean that you still haven't had a proper talk with Alberto if you can still say something like that. Seriously, it's been half a year, Marissa.
We don't need to talk. We can communicate without using words, you know. It's something that only couples that are truly in love can do. But I guess you didn't know that. Ida, half of the seats in the wedding venue are empty. They all canceled at the last minute.
Oh, is that so?
Not only that, but when I told Dad that this behavior was too disrespectful when it's the next CEO and his fiancée that's about to get married, he said that Alberto wasn't going to be the next CEO. What in the world is the meaning of this?
What? You're seriously only asking me that now?
What do you mean I'm only asking you this now? I mean, Dad sent you to marry Alberto in the first place because he was going to be the next CEO, right?
Did Alberto not tell you anything about it?
Huh? But it's so obvious. There was no need to ask him about it. I mean, the only children Dad has is me and you. Which means that he would have to send one of us to go and marry the next CEO of the company, right?
But I'm going to be the next CEO of Dad's company.
What? You're going to be the CEO?
Yes. It's been decided for quite some time now that I was going to be the next CEO. The marriage between me and Alberto was nothing as complicated as an arranged marriage for the company's interest or something. We were just co-employees that fell in love with each other.
What? Then does that mean that Alberto's position in the company is...
He's just a regular employee.
A regular employee?
Well, he used to be the head of the marketing department, but the company found out about how he was cheating on me and going on dates with you and saw that as a problem. And so he was demoted and his salary lowered.
Huh? What's so wrong about going on dates with me?
To put it simply, so that even you would understand, he was punished for not coming to work and going on dates with you instead.
What?
Not only that, but apparently he used the company cars on these dates of yours to go to hotels or something. He was barely not fired from the company entirely, but it's true that he was a hair's breadth away from it.
He was almost fired?
Yep, his salary is much lower than it was before, and he's probably not going to be promoted in the future either. Half of this is your fault, and you should realize that.
But... Ida! I asked Alberto to show me his bank account and only €5 were in it! Why is it so little? But I won't be able to buy the newest brand bags with this money!
Do you seriously not understand yet, Marissa?
Huh?
First, Alberto paid for both the alimony I asked from you and from him. Next, you moved into his apartment since you were kicked out of our parents' house. Not only that, but you're unemployed and have no intention of getting a job since you believe that working is defeat, yet you love spending money and have zero experience saving any money of your own. He now has to pay for 2 people instead of 1 ever since you started living with him. And his salary is not even 1/3 of what it once was since the company found out about what he was doing. Oh, and that wedding ceremony of yours was pretty expensive as well, right? But you couldn't even gather a considerable amount of money from wedding gifts since most of the people you invited ended up canceling at the last minute. Based on my calculations, you made Alberto use roughly €100,000 in just these 6 months, didn't you?
€100,000?
I heard from Alberto before that he had about €100,000 in savings, but looks like he's spent almost all of that now. Only €5 were left, right?
This can't be happening. But this is completely opposite of what I expected. I thought I would be able to live a fabulous life as the wife of a CEO, never having to work a day in my life. I can't turn back now as well, since we already turned in the marriage papers. What should I do about this, Ida?
Do you seriously not understand yet, Marissa?
What?
It's clear what you need to do. You need to get a job and work as well. You see, everyone in society has to, in general, work to make a living. You were screwed the moment you started thinking that working is defeat. If only the world worked differently, then maybe you would have gotten what you wanted. So if you don't want to join the dredges of society, because you're going to at this rate, go and get a job.
Why do you have to say things like that to me? You're so mean, Ida.
Not long after that, Alberto voluntarily resigned from his job. It looks like it was too difficult for him working at a place where his former fiancée and now also sister-in-law were going to be the next CEO. Apparently, he brought Marissa with him and moved to his hometown. I heard that he plans on getting a new job at a factory that produces dried foods owned by a relative of his. Marissa, who loved everything about the city and how everything was so busy and shiny, will probably find this new life in the countryside of hers difficult and boring. But since she could no longer rely on our parents, she had no choice but to go with Alberto. But it seems that her mother-in-law was quite the character. Apparently her conditions of letting the two of them live in Alberto's parents' house was that they would have to live with Alberto's parents, and she would manage everything related to their finances, including their salaries. My sister left the city shaking from fear, and it looks like this marriage of hers is going to be difficult in a lot of ways. Mac, we're breaking up.
Huh? What the hell? Where did that come from all of a sudden? Lexi? What's going on?
I just told you, didn't I? We're breaking up. The engagement is off.
Seriously, what the hell? You got me so off guard here, I don't even know what to say.
It might seem sudden to you, but I promise you, I've been thinking about doing this for a long, long time.
But we only have 2 more months until the wedding, Lexi.
Exactly. It's precisely because we're so close now that I had to stop and do some serious soul searching. When I thought about what kind of family we'd end up being, what our home life would be like, what kind of married couple we'd be, I've been doing all sorts of thinking about what our married life would look like, you know? And I'm sorry, Mac, but it's just not the life I imagined for myself.
Huh? Huh? How do you mean?
How should I put this? It's like, no matter how hard I try, I find it impossible to imagine us having a future together. Or rather, when I picture what my idea of happily married life looks like, you're not a part of it. I guess you could say I was finally honest enough with myself to accept that.
What are you saying?
It's important to have a vision for the future, you know? Especially when you find yourself stood on the precipice of one of life's major turning points. But when you're about to embark on a new start and you're already having major doubts, you have to stop and have a difficult conversation with yourself about whether it's truly what's right for you. Look on the bright side. At least we didn't actually end up getting married, so we both get to come out of the other side without becoming divorcees. So please, just agree to breaking off the engagement so we can both move on.
I'm gonna need some time for this, Lexi. This has all been so sudden, and I need some time to process everything you just told me before I can give you a proper answer.
Come on, Mac, is it really that difficult?
Nothing you say will change my mind. I need time to process this.
Fine, I'll give you 3 days.
Just 3 days?
Actually, I think I'm being pretty generous, because nothing you say will change my mind. Which means 3 days is a waste of time as far as I'm concerned. That said, I get that you're shocked, so I'm willing to compromise. I understand how you feel, so are you going to meet me halfway and consider my feelings too?
Fine, I'll message you in 3 days then.
Just remember that no matter how long you wait, nothing's going to change my mind.
Mac, I just saw the message you sent me last night. I'm so sorry I couldn't reply straight away, bro. I was on night shift and we're not allowed to take our phones outside the locker rooms while on the premises. Hey, Tony. Sorry for sending you such a weird message out of nowhere. Lexi dropped a bombshell on me and she said that she wants to break off the engagement and I didn't know who else to talk to about it. Don't sweat it. I'm your friend and I wouldn't want you to go through this alone, so I'm glad you reached out to me. I'm sorry if I worried you. Thanks, buddy. I see. So is that why? Is that why? Listen, Mac, there's something about Lexi you should know. Huh? I'm sorry to tell you this when you've already got a broken heart, because it's probably going to sting a little. But you might want to deal with it immediately, so I don't really have a choice. Whoa, what is this? Whoa, what is it? You're scaring me now. This all happened about 2 months ago. I saw Lexi while I was on my way to work a few times, but every time I did, she was with some other dude. Huh? Wait, what? I saw them together in the same place every time. Every time I saw them, they were walking down the long street you come onto. Every time I saw them, they were walking down the long street you come onto after turning right out of McPherson Station. I'm pretty sure I don't need to tell you where that street goes, right? That's where all the hotels are. Bingo. The first time I didn't think anything of it. I figured she was probably just with some guy friend, and they just happened to be walking that way while on their way somewhere else. But from the second time onwards, I had a bad feeling not only due to her being with the same guy again, but also they were way too intimate with each other just to be friends. I see. I'm sorry I waited so long to tell you, buddy. I just didn't know the right way to go about it. When I saw them again yesterday, I got super annoyed with myself for keeping it quiet all this time and swore to tell you. I was actually going to do it today. I can tell it's been eating away at you, Tony, and I'm sorry to hear that. Don't feel bad, okay? I understand why you didn't tell me. Thank you. What are you gonna do next? Well, first of all, it's safe to say the engagement's officially off, and I'm gonna need proof of the affair. But there's no doubt about it. Me and Lexi have been drifting apart for a long time. I always did my best to talk to her as much as I could, to make time for date nights and things, and I tried to make her happy, I really did, but for some reason, nothing seemed to work. She always just seemed so distant. In a way, I'm actually pleased, because now I know why. Now, I can happily break off the engagement. Mac, I get you want to put on a brave face, but it's normal for this to suck, you know? It's fine, really. Anyway, once the engagement's been canceled, I'll have to deal with the small matter of how to make sure Lexi takes full responsibility for what she did. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help, pal. I'm always here. I might just do that. Thanks, Broseph. Lexi, I've decided to break off the engagement.
Wow, really? Gee, thanks, babe. To be honest, I was kind of worried you'd dig your heels in and refuse. I'm really pleased you've decided to be a mature, responsible adult about it. Oh yeah, one more thing. As for letting everyone know we're breaking off the engagement, I think it's best we both tell our parents, friends, and all the people we invited to the wedding individually. There's no need to go making a big drama out of the whole thing, right? You've agreed to go along with the engagement, so let's deal with the rest quietly before going our separate ways for good.
You're right. That works fine for me for the time being.
Thanks for being so mature about us breaking up. To tell you the truth, I already found my new boyfriend. It's not easy being this much of a hit with the guys, you know. Anyway, I think we're just about done here. I'm so pleased that we were able to part ways on such good terms. Now it's time for a clean break. Woohoo! Bye-bye.
Mac, something crazy happened. You gotta hear this. What is it? It turns out the guy Lexi was cheating on you with is one of my coworkers. Wow, are you serious? Yeah, and get this. He has a reputation for being the most useless, deadweight blockhead at the company. He's such a pain in the ass that he routinely gets passed from department to department because no one wants anything to do with him. He just got assigned to my department today, so I finally saw his face for the first time. But I've been hearing rumors about him here for years. He's somewhat of a legendary figure at my company for being so damn useless. I thought he looked familiar when I saw him at morning call. Then I remembered he was the dude I kept seeing Lexi walking towards the hotel district. Wow, what are the odds? Now that I think about it, the street next to McPherson Station where I kept seeing him isn't that far away from my workplace. Obviously, I can't be sure, but I can say there's a pretty strong chance he's been meeting up with Lexi there after work for months. I see. Yeah, and that's not all. I don't know whether it's because he's trying to assert himself as the hotshot new guy in my department or whether this is just what he's always like, but he literally didn't stop bragging about himself all day. He even mentioned you and Lexi. What? Well, let me be clear. He didn't specifically say your names, but he was bragging about how he stole some loser's fiancée and making himself out to be this huge stud in front of all of the female employees. Then he went around the whole office showing everyone a photo of him with Lexi before jumping on my desk and playing air guitar while spinning his head around like some wannabe rock star and yelling, "Don't challenge the stallion," at the top of his voice. Wow, are you for real? Sadly, yes. It turns out instead of totally being dead weight at the office, he's also a total jerk who thinks stealing another dude's girl is something to brag about. Does this guy have mental problems? That was my first thought, but then I realized that would be an insult to people with mental problems. The guy's something else. I'm pretty sure he became universally hated in my department within 5 minutes of meeting everyone. What's his name? Bartholomew Abe. What? What is it? No way. Unless I'm thinking of someone else with the same name. Which, let's face it, it's pretty unlikely. That's the jerk who used to bully everyone at my high school. No way. Seriously? Hang on a sec. Could it be? I think this could be his way of getting revenge on me for what happened back then. Revenge? To cut a long story short, he had a crush on my cousin. He wouldn't stop following her around school, writing her love letters and asking her out on dates. But she wasn't interested, so I kind of ended up becoming her bodyguard. I often used to hear about how much he hated me for it, but since I was bigger than him and trained Wing Chun, he never had any balls to say anything to my face. Wow, I see. Anyway, if it really is him, I have a little trick up my sleeve. What are you gonna do? Me and him both grew up in the same town and we know a lot of the same people, which means gathering information on him is gonna be a piece of cake. Ah, I see. Alright, that sounds promising. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll pretend I don't know you and feign ignorance if he starts boasting about stealing Lexi again. Yeah, could you? That'd be great. Sorry you got dragged into this crap, bud. If you find out anything else, it'd be great if you could let me know as soon as possible. You have nothing to be sorry for, Mac. And sure, of course.
Mac, what the hell is this letter that just showed up at my mom and dad's place? You better start explaining right now. Why in God's name would I pay you compensation? Not only that, but why in the crap would I cover all the wedding expenses?
Which part don't you understand? Isn't it obvious? You're the one who called off the engagements, so why would you get out of footing the bill?
What are you talking about? Why should I pay you compensation when we didn't even get married? Are you stupid?
I should be asking you that. This was hardly a regular breakup, was it? We had the wedding venue booked, invites sent, a band hired, a cake ordered, your dress, my tux. We had everything in order, Lexi. The wedding company explained in advance there'd be a cancellation fee of the quoted amount plus 30% in the event of a cancellation within 3 months of the wedding day. Not only did the representative explain in person when we went in, but we both signed a contract and received email copies of the terms and conditions.
Huh?
I went through all of the cancellation procedures myself. And not only that, but I had to borrow the money from elsewhere because I didn't have enough left after spending so much on the wedding. Obviously, I was going to bill you for everything when you're the one who called off the engagement. Am I doing something wrong here? Please feel free to go through my messages again and pick fault if I'm mistaken somehow, because I assure you I'm not.
Fine. Well, what about the compensation?
You can still claim compensation without getting married, you dummy.
Wait, what? No way. You're lying.
Not only that, but you cheated on me.
What? No, I did not.
Sorry, Lexi, but you're not going to be able to lie your way out of this one. I put the proof of the affair, including pictures of you being intimate with your lover in public, in a separate brown envelope inside the compensation bill letter.
No way. That's what's in the envelope?
Get back in touch with me once you've taken a look inside if you dare.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. How did you find out?
Shall I be completely honest with you?
Tell me.
I'm so sorry. I almost fell over laughing when I realized how easy you made it to collect proof you were cheating on me.
What?
You do know that your lover, Bartholomew Abe, was in my class in high school, right?
Sure I did, but so what? What's your point?
So you should have known he was the most hated guy in my entire neighborhood too, right?
Huh?
Not only that, but he was also hated by the very kinds of people you do not want to make enemies of. Which is why when I headed back into town and enlisted the help of some of my old friends in the form of calling in some favors with their connections, I had enough evidence to prove the affair 10 times over within just a few days.
It was really that easy?
Come on, Lexi, face reality. Even without the help of my friends, it was never going to be difficult to prove he was going around bragging to everyone who'd listen about how he'd stolen Mac's fiancée and was now officially the superior male. He even posted photos and videos of you both together in the office group chat.
God damn it, that moron. Are you being serious right now?
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Bartholomew wouldn't happen to have stopped messaging you these last few days, would he?
Well, yes. I thought it was just because he's busy since getting moved to a new department at work.
I have some friends who work at one of the office buildings outside the hotel district near McPherson Station. They gave me several witness accounts reporting seeing him going into one of the hotels with a young blonde a total of 5 times over the last 2 days.
Wait, what? Bartholomew with another woman? But why? Why would he do this to me? I thought we had something special. You've got to be kidding me. I broke off my engagement for that asshole.
There's one more thing you should know. Bartholomew's uncle found out about his nephew's misdeeds for the first time yesterday, as well as kindly agreeing to facility for violent criminals, ex-drug addicts, and other various breeds of social misfit. Something tells me you won't be hearing from him again.
What?
Anyway, I think we're pretty much done here. Make sure I get my compensation and repayment on the wedding expenses sooner rather than later, okay? My lawyer's on standby, should I need him.
Oh my god, is this real life? How can you just keep springing extra crap on me? I don't even understand what's happening anymore.
A few days after our last messages, Lexi's parents showed up at my place and apologized profusely for their wayward daughter's sickening behavior and cheating on me and breaking off the engagement. They told me they took all the savings from her bank account and sold all of their possessions in an effort to come up with some money. With that, they lowered their heads in shame and handed me an envelope containing the exact amount I requested in the invoice I sent before going home. Sadly, I can't say Lexi responded in as dignified and responsible a fashion as her parents. Apparently, she still carried on claiming to be the victim in the whole thing and showed no signs of repenting for her behavior. At their wits' end, and having heard about Bartholomew's uncle sent him to the Mountain Temple for rehabilitation, Lexi's parents decided to enter her into a monastery for 2 years in the hope that the nuns there would teach her how to be a decent human being. As for Bartholomew, of course his departure for the Mountain Temple meant he left my company. I got the funniest text from my boss a few days later. Apparently, as soon as it was announced that Bartholomew was leaving, the entire office erupted into thunderous cheering and applause. To be honest, even having him around for the short space of time we did was a huge pain in the ass for all of us. Which is why me and 2 of my coworker buddies have decided to go on a guy's vacation to Mexico to decompress.